start very soon. Okay. Let me do the setup. We all set for this F5 LTM. All right. Let me share my screen and then we can start. Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for joining this session. And let's start. Welcome you all in the Gwinnett Technologies. And today we are officially starting this F5 LTM. Okay. So I know it was a long wait and you guys are waiting for since like long to start this batch. So I was not having a time to start, but finally I shipped my batches for this morning slot to some different slot, and I was able to manage this time for F5 LTM. So I hope this session is going to be very excited, and you guys are going to be learn a lot about the F5 LTM. So I built some labs also, and we have the multiple scenario. We'll see how it is going to be configured and how it is going to be completely deployed from scratch to advanced level. So that we'll discuss step by step. But the idea is how the session is going to be happen. The session is going to be more interactive in terms of the why load balancer, why F5 LTM. What was the problem with the other network devices? Like we have the router, we have the switch, we have the firewall, we have the F5 LTM, we have the F5 GTM, we have the F5 ASM. So why these devices are available in the market? Because I'm the instructor, almost router, switches, firewall, everything. So we have to understand why the switch is going to be needed, why the router is going to be needed, why the firewall is going to be needed, why the F5 LTM is going to be needed, and what is the F5 LTM, what basically it does, what is the F5 ASM, what basically it does. I missed the one diagram here that is known as the, also let me put it here, that is known as the, sorry, my pen is not working. Give me 1 minute. So there is one more thing we have to understand, that is the F5 GTM. So that also we have to cover. So I want to make sure on the every device level, every product level, you are become a champion. If someone is going to ask you about the any product, you able to explain from the very basic to very advanced level why this device is going to be used. What is the special feature behind this device? And if I'm not going to use this device, what's problem is going to be happen? If you have that kind of the mindset, if you have that kind of the thought process, you are going to become unique in the your industry, because people don't know why you use the switch, why you use the hub, why you use the router. They know, but if you go in the higher inside, you talk more about that product, they are going to be confused. Now they keep saying router can do the same work, firewall. Like nowadays, if you're going to use the router for the Cisco, they can do the firewall work also and the router work also. So why you need a firewall? Makes sense. In firewall also, you can do the load balancing. So why you need the F5 LTM? Because F5 LTM is one for the load balancing, but firewall also can do the load balancing. Router also can do the load balancing, load sharing. So basically, what is the purpose? We have to like break down every concept in very layman language so you guys are going to be understand. So I hope you guys are very much excited about this session, and we are going to together make this session is very good. And the things I miss here, that is the F5 GTM. So we are going to focus in this batch only one product. So F5 have the LTM, F5 have the GTM, that's different product, and F5 have the ASM, that's the different product. So we are going to more talk about the F5 LTM because this is a session we are going to plan. So quickly, let me start having a discussion you all so you guys can understand. I'll ask some basic questions and let's see who is going to have the better answer. So become I want to make this session as an interactive. So you just have to become the part of that interaction. So you are going to be understand each and everything in very detail. So very first thing, anyone know why you use the router and switch? Anyone can explain what is the use of the router and switch?
The router is we are using to connect one network to another network, or we have multiple users sitting in our organization. So all user require a network to go outside. So
So
here,
one network to another network.
one network to another network. Yeah,
So that's router. Switch cannot do this work.
at this we can do.
So what is different between router and switch? If they can do the both thing, then what is different between these two devices?
Can I
Yeah, yeah,
explain, Vishal?
yes, yes. So I will go ahead, please.
Okay. Networks is a devices that
Mm-hmm.
work in layer 3 models,
Mm-hmm.
and it is basically used for the traffic control on the internet as well as local sites.
No,
Or it is
you're
decide
giving
the.
differences between router and switch, or you're talking about network?
No, I am talking about the router only.
Okay, router. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, router is the network devices, L3 network devices.
Mm-hmm.
It is used basically traffic flow. It is working by routing protocol and router protocol also, routing and protocol also,
Okay.
and it is work also access list. We can filter the traffic by the routers.
Okay.
We can traffic shifting by the routers. We can load balancer by the routers.
Uh, but
And
but the Sabi, that's correct. I do agree with you. But switch can also do whatever you talk till now.
now L3 switch do not work in the MPLS levels. Okay, and
Okay.
it is not working in the access list. We cannot configure.
Okay.
Okay, then I'm coming to the switch. The switch is basically work in the data link layers. We have three type of switch. That's
Mm-hmm.
managed switch, unmanaged switch, and L3 switch. Managed switch we can manage by console. We can put the IP address. We can create the VLANs, L2 VLANs. And unmanaged switch we cannot take it by console. We just plug and play and
Okay.
working with VLAN one by default VLAN. And L3 switch we can configure SBI, and
Mm-hmm.
SBI we can configure SSRP. We can use DTP. We can use uh, BTP also.
Okay. So you tried good, right? Some are the overlaps, and any others want to give idea what is the difference of router and switch?
Sir, switch is basically used in LAN network, and
Mm-hmm.
router is also used for WAN network, one network to multiple network to merge and
Okay.
communicate one network to another network to
Mm-hmm.
communicate.
Okay.
And switch logically separate to the network through make a VLAN.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. चलो इट्स अ गुड ट्राई ओके चलो हम मैं बताऊंगा आई विल एक्सप्लेन एवरीथिंग फ्रॉम द स्क्रैच ऑल डिवाइसेस फंक्शनलिटी बट आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड नाउ वी हैव द बिट आइडिया अबाउट द switch and router. This switch can work as a layer 2, this can work on the layer 3. If it is going to work as a layer 3, you almost do every work what router can do. That exceptions have, we have exceptions, right? But almost you can do almost everything what router can do, that but have the lower capability. That's the OSI level. This router is going to work on the only layer 3, right? It's a layer 3 devices. They can do the by default configuration for the BGP, OSPF, EIGRP. It can support the layer 4 functionality, like you want to create some kind of the access list port base, you can do that. You want to create some kind of the any kind of the port level restriction, that is also possible. You can do the interval in routing, that's all possible. If I talk about the firewall also, these firewalls, let's suppose take an example. These firewalls also have the similar features. What router can do that? But anyone can take or give the example. What unique feature we have the firewall which not have the router? Anyone? What unique feature we have the firewall which not have the router?
Yeah, router is stateless, but firewall is a stateful firewall is a state level.
No, but router also, firewall also come as a stateless firewall.
Uh-huh.
There is a firewall that is known as the stateless firewall.
SSL inspections.
Okay, that's
That
makes
is
sense.
firewalls.
So
SSL, apps,
Content
application,
inspections,
anti-spyware.
antivirus, anti-malwares.
so
Okay,
generally,
IPS, IDS
yeah,
are inbuilt.
router basically what does? If you talk about the routers, router can generally handle the routing based on the layer 3 IP addressing. Make sense? Router can handle the your
सर हिंदी लैंग्वेज में बता पाएंगे सर?
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely. Okay, Hindustani. I will explain my Hindi language also. Definitely, don't worry.
Vishal sir is a one man army, bhai.
So this ACL can be created, and this ACL can be on the port number. जैसे हमारा टेलनेट का पोर्ट हो गया 21,
21,
एसएस का पोर्ट हो गया 22, डीएनएस का हो गया 53,
53.
राइट, एचटीटीपी का हो गया 80 and 443. So these all ports level also you can do the restriction. So this is basically layer 4. Make sense? Router can do this kind of the restrictions, but router have the limited capability. Means router had designed to handle basically routings. मीन्स अगर आपको बड़े लार्ज स्केल में राउटिंग करना है, आपको राउट टेबल मैनेज करना है 10 लाख, 5 लाख, 7 लाख, सो बिगर राउटर कैन मैनेज दोज राउटिंग कैपेबिलिटीज. Firewall also can, if we talk about the firewall, we have the two types of firewalls. One is the stateful firewall and one is the stateless firewall. So if I talk about the stateless firewall, basically I believe most of you know because आप लोगों ने you have joined my classes for the firewalls. So we talk about what is a stateless, what is a stateful firewall. But who don't know about the stateless and stateful, we'll discuss later because in F5 also we have to cover this topic. So I will explain how it is going to look like. So in a stateful firewall, we have the different set of the traffic filtering method. But in a stateless, we have the similar kind of the traffic pattern. Means you can do the layer 3 filtering, you can do the layer 4 filtering, and definitely layer 2 is also going to be there. So these all are responsibility of the firewalls, which router can do that. But router are designed to handle the routing. Firewall are designed to handle the more of the access list, right? More about the filtering the traffic. So that's the key difference. But when you talk about the next generation firewall, somebody writing in chat something. Let me see. ओके, सो जो हमारा बेसिकली नेक्स्ट जनरेशन फारवल है, दैट इज बेसिकली एनीवन इन द क्लास जिनको हिंदी नहीं आती है, एनीवन इन द क्लास?
यस सर, मी सर।
सर
ओ
सर मेरा स्टूडेंट है जो साइबर सिक्योरिटी एक्सपर्ट में अभी काम कर रहे हैं,
वेट
तो
वेट
वो उनको भी
वेट
करा
वेट,
सकता हूँ।
I know Muthu is also. So let's start this in Hindi English both. I'll keep in touch, okay, because Muthu is here who don't know.
This is for load balancer class.
Yes, this is load balancer, see. Yes.
This is
Yes, Sasi, this is a load balancer class. Only F5 load balancer. We're just doing the basic fundamental discussion. Definitely we'll move to load balancer. So,
oh,
okay. So, basically next generation firewall This next generation firewall is known as the stateful firewall. So stateful firewall have the more capabilities. They can do the layer 2 inspection, layer 3 inspection, layer 4 inspection and layer 7 inspection. मतलब ये सारा कुछ कवर कर लेता है along with अगर कुछ आपके पैकेट में additional informations हैं, like you have some kind of the URL applications, you have some kind of the data, content, user ID, that all is possible to identify by the firewall, and based on that the policy is going to be enforced. This is a firewall that is a stateful firewall. So now we know the switch responsibility, that is basically for the layer 2. If it is a layer 2, सिर्फ VLAN समझेगा, right? It is going to understand only the VLANs. If it is a layer 2, then only VLAN and only MAC. It can be to the traffic, but it's going to be layer 3 switch. So layer 2 भी काम करेगा, layer 3 भी काम करेगा. Means you can do the trunking protocol, VLAN connectivity, campus network connectivity, MAC address bus forwarding, that all possible. If you talk about the routers, ये वाला भी अगर layer 3 है, so you can configure the OSPF, you can configure the BGP, you can configure the EIGRP, that all possible. You can do that without any problem in this also. But what is going to be happen? Hold on. What is running? Okay. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So if you are going to be basically routers are more about the network. They can do the layer 3 and layer 4 work. Layer 3 is 100%. Layer 4 have the limited capability. They can do that, but if you're going to enforce more layer 4 work, the router is not going to perform as expected unless you have the very big router. So these are design, or might be you have to install the firewall. Some Cisco router have the firewall modules also embedded in the router. So वहां पे जाके आप inbuilt कर दोगे. So they are going to help you in terms of the processing the firewall packets also, और वहां भी firewall पे level पे आप control कर सकते हो. But if you talk about the higher ISP level routing, that is possible in the router. Means आपको 10 लाख, 5 लाख, 8 लाख routing table install करना है, it is absolutely possible. There is no problem is going to happen. But if I talk about the firewalls are more about, they can do the layer 2 work, means MAC, VLAN, they can do that. There is no problem. If you have the any requirement for the MAC and VLAN, that is also possible. If you want to do the layer 3, like you want to configure the BGP, OSPF, EIGRP does not support by the 40-gate Palo Alto checkpoint. And if you want to do the RIP, you want to do the static route, you want to do the multicast, these all supported by the firewalls also. But along with these features are not recommended on the firewall unless you have the very big firewall. To just use this feature, you can just deploy for the minimum requirement. But if you have the bigger firewall, if you let's suppose very high scale firewall, you can use the complete feature of the routing of this particular box. There is no problem, like router. So you don't have to purchase the router. So some cases you are going to find router is not there, firewall is doing every routing as well. But along with this feature, they can do the inspection of your packet. Means it is going to control your applications. They are going to control your any kind of the URL, control any kind of the content, that's the data. They are going to control any kind of the your traffic, that's the L3 or L2. Means it can do the anything that can do the your any kind of the malware protections. They can do the any kind of the virus protections. They can do the vulnerability protections. They can do the DDoS protections. They can do like SSL inspections. So these features, what firewall can do, these routers cannot do that. So I hope you guys are getting this. Switch cannot do that. So firewall have the more kind of the feature available. Is it clear? You guys are understand? Any doubt till here? What router, what firewall, क्या क्या करते हैं हम? सबको क्लियर है? ओके, सो मूविंग नेक्स्ट, अब हम बात करते हैं असली मुद्दे पे जिसकी हम पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं कि भाई F5 लोड बैलेंसर क्या होता है? F5 LTM, what basically use of this load balancer? Anyone know what is the meaning of load balancer? Anyone want to define what is a load balancer? First of all,
Distributing the traffic or load to one server to another server. Yeah, balancing load means
Balancing the traffic between a multiple of servers.
Correct, but I am telling you, the actually load balancer is the distribution the traffic uh, from multiple physical server via one virtual server. Okay.
okay, so there is
So,
there is a key concept might be who is means जिसको बिल्कुल आइडिया नहीं है कि फिजिकल सर्वर क्या होते हैं, मल्टीपल, राइट, एंड
yeah,
वर्चुअल सर्वर क्या होते हैं. सो कैन यू जस्ट गिव सम एग्जांपल कि मतलब कैसे काम करता है? थोड़ा सा एक आध लेमन लैंग्वेज में एग्जांपल दे सकते हो? व्हाट इज द लोड बैलेंसर?
yeah, that is the when user access any applications, application installed in multiple physical server and multiple physical server are configured via one virtual server. That is that when user access the application, a virtual server work on that, and they assign the physical servers by the algorithms, the different LB algorithm, that is round robins least connections. So so user not aware which server is the physical server and which server he has to need access. He just access the applications. So here no traffic is choking, and a user are access via URL, access the URL or application is smoothly, because all work done by virtual server, and virtual server assigned to the user by the different type of algorithms.
Okay, चलो ठीक है. Let me give the other chance. Anyone else want to contribute? Simple एक 30 सेकंड और 40 सेकंड का डेफिनेशन want to give? Any हिंदी इंग्लिश कुछ भी चलेगा. Anyone want to share some insights? What is the load balancer? किसी और को? शशि, you want to say something? शैलेश, AK हिंदुस्तानी, आप कुछ बोलना चाहते हो कि क्या होता है ये? ओके, चलो ठीक है. मैं बताता हूं कि सपोज करो आप लोगों ने you guys must have seen Amazon sale that has been recently done on this August month due to the 15th August, right? This you might be have seen, right? Ki there is a sale and everyone is crazy to buy something on the Amazon. Second scenario, take an example. If you have the coming the Asia Cup, right? And we have the match between the India versus Pakistan. So what is going to happen? This is going to broadcast on might be the Geo Hotstar, right? This is going to be broadcast on Geo Hotstar or might be any other platform. What is going to happen? 100 plus crore people are going to be, means more than 10 million people are going to be joined at the same time to watch this live. We all agree, right? If Amazon is going to be happen, sale is going to happen, more than might be 30 crore peoples are going to crazy and buy the products from the Amazon. So do you guys think if we are going to host any websites, you are going to host any website, that website required some short of the, let me use some other drawing book. This is a very basic fundamental, guys, and you have to understand because we are going to understand something bigger. That's F5 load balancers. So our basic concept should be okay. Let's suppose take an example. www.guinet.com. This is the one website. This website must be hosted in somewhere in the server, right? This is going to hosted in the server and it is going to be guinet.com. These servers are connected with the internet. Okay. And we have the lot of learner, like these are the learner. Sitting across the different location. Might be he is the Anand, might be this is Archana, this is Dharam, this might be AK Hindustani. These are the servers, they directly connected with the internet. So I design means the Guinet design the Guinet server, which is hosted in the somewhere in the office or might be the cloud. Maximum this server can handle thousands of the connection at a one time or 10,000 connection at a one time. Take an example. 10,000 user connection means every server have their capacity, right? You must have to define some RAM. You have to define some storage. You have to define some CPU, right? So these parameters you define. So let's suppose define the 16 GB RAM. You define the 500 GB, SSD, right? You define the 12 CPU. So these servers have the capacity to handle 1,000 or 10,000 connections. But let's suppose we get the 1 lakh connection from the internet for this server. 1 lakh connection. So what is going to be happen? Anyone? If we get the 1 lakh connections on this server, then what is going to happen?
Server is choked. Server is not working.
It will fail or
Server is not working.
It is going to be probably
Fail.
crash, right?
Crash.
It is going to be failed. Your connection is not going to be happen, right? This is the problem is going to happen. Now, what is solution? Anyone tell me? Then what is solution? How we can make them again working?
increase the server capacity
No.
specifically.
Yes.
Increase server capacity, but or we can install the or multiple physical server
Yes.
here.
So there's two possibility. If your server hardware is allowed to increase the capacity, every hardware have their capacity. जैसे आप suppose करो कि let's suppose we have one car, ठीक है? उस कार में we can carry 4 people, right? और might be अब आपके पास 10 लोग हो गए, ठीक है? So you can just going to buy a car, a bigger car, might be the SUV you are going to buy, और हो गए 50 लोग, you are going to buy the bus. बट अगर 1000 हो गए तो क्या आप उतनी बड़ी बस बना सकते हो? Probably you have to purchase a train.
Multiple bus.
बिल्कुल different infrastructure, right? ट्रेन
हाँ.
खरीदना पड़ेगा आपको. So
क्या
that's-
एग्जांपल दिया
so that is the different. So कुछ limitations होता है कि चलो ठीक है, मैंने मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट कार बना सकती है और मैं थोड़ा उसमें एडवांस करके मैं उसको बड़ा कार बना सकता हूँ, चलो उसको और मॉडिफाई करके हम बस बना सकते हैं, लेकिन ट्रेन तो नहीं बना सकते, रोड पर चलेगी कैसे, राइट? वी कैन नॉट मेक इट. सो हमें दूसरे प्लेटफॉर्म में जाना पड़ेगा या फिर हमें मल्टीपल बसेस बनानी पड़ेंगे जिसमें हमें मल्टीपल लोगों को कैरी करना पड़ेगा, राइट? सो दिस इज जस्ट एग्जांपल. सिमिलरली एवरी सर्वर हैव देयर कैपेसिटी, हार्डवेयर की कैपेसिटी होती है कि ठीक है, मेरे को बोला गया है कि आई नीड टू बेसिकली cover that much initially storage, but I have the increment point here. I can increase. If I cannot do that, I need to install the new server here. So यहाँ पे मैं एक नया server install कर दिया. That probably going to be 128 GB RAM. That is going to be 10 terabyte SSD. And might be I'm going to tell it is going to be 100 CPU. vCPU. So now I have the bigger server. It can might be carry up to 50,000 connection, 50K connection or 1 lakh connection. Take an example. So might be I can connect this server also in somewhere in my internet. So if user is going to access, then the problem is going to, okay, server मैंने बढ़ा दिया, there is no problem. There is a server, I increase my server, but user को कैसे पता चलेगा कि how my traffic should go on this server or this server? कैसे पता चलेगा? How user is going to be redistribute the traffic? Means user को तो लगेगा मेरे को यूनिट वेबसाइट एक्सेस करना है, but which technology is going to be make sure कि अगर ये फुल हो गया, अगर this is going to be overloaded, then my traffic is going to be shipped to the this box. If I'm not going to use, just forget about the load balancer. Is there any way we can do that? हमारा राउटर कर सकता है, स्विच कर सकता है, फायरवॉल कर सकती है दिस प्रॉब्लम कि अपने आप यूजर आए और जैसे ही इंटरनेट पे लैंड करे तो अपने आप ट्रैफिक चला जाए. कोई सॉल्यूशन है किसी के दिमाग में?
तो सर्वर का तो नहीं है, लेकिन इसमें वी कैन असाइन वन devices for one IP address that is distributed the loads to define physical server.
रॉबिन राउंड कॉन्फ़िगरेशन करने से भी हो सकता है
ना वो तो राउंड में तो लेटर प्रोटोकॉल ना, दैट इज एलबी प्रोटोकॉल, एलबी मेथड्स. ठीक है,
राउटर पे हम
राउटर नहीं कर सकते,
नहीं
राउटर नहीं कर सकते, फायरवॉल नहीं कर सकते, ओनली जो एसएलबी कर सकते, सर्वर लोड बैलेंसर जो प्रोटोकॉल है, सर्वर लोड बैलेंसर कर सकते.
राउटर सर राउटर पर लोड बैलेंसिंग होगी, बट उसको ये नहीं पता लगेगा जब सर्वर 1 फुल हो गया दूसरे पे शिफ्ट करना.
यस, वी कैन डू सम सॉर्ट ऑफ द लोड बैलेंसिंग, बट ये जो प्रॉब्लम है कि ऑटोमेटिक शिफ्ट करना, नाइदर योर स्विच कैन डू दैट. इसलिए मैंने स्टार्ट किया था ये सारी चीजें. Why
It
is
is a
that?
part of automation.
Yes. Neither this switch can do that, neither this your router do that, neither firewall do that. ये कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते. इस प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन था ही नहीं. तो मार्केट में बहुत लिमिटेड और बहुत फेमस कंपनी है जो दुनिया में सबसे फेमस है. इट्स लाइक द वॉव कंपनी, दैट्स द F5 बिग IP. दैट्स द कंपनी. ओके, दिखाता हूं. सो उसके दिमाग में दैट इज द कम एज अ फीचर कि भाई दिस द बिगर पिक्चर, राइट? एंड दिस बिग IP is basically F5 बिग IP. अगर if you want to know a little bit history, I'll tell you definitely. They design a solution, right? कि भाई ये प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है तो इसको हम कुछ ऐसा प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं कि दैट इज गोइंग टू सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम. सो नॉट ओनली F5 बिग कंपनी अवेलेबल इन द मार्केट हु इज डिजाइनिंग द प्रोडक्ट की इस तरह की रिक्वायरमेंट है, सोल्व कर सकता है. F5 सॉरी लोड बैलेंस सिट्रिक्स के भी आते हैं और नेटस्केलर के भी आते हैं. दैट्स नेटस्केलर सिट्रिक्स, राइट? वी हैव द अदर वेंडर्स लाइक FortiGate के भी लोड बैलेंस आते हैं. बहुत सारे सोर्स भी आते हैं.
केम
सॉरी
केम लोड बैलेंसर.
But F5 Big IP is one of the best product. Best means super best product. कोई इसको टच भी नहीं कर सकता in a market. Means this product is that much popular, that much reliable. If you have the right knowledge of the F5, you are easily going to get very good job in the market. Trust me. By knowing the one product, by knowing the only F5, you can easily get 25-30 lakh LPA. अगर आपका ठीक ठाक नेटवर्किंग की थोड़ी फालो की नॉलेज है तो. Because they have the huge demand. Every company are using the F5 LTM. Like the firewall is mandatory, router switch is mandatory, F5 is also mandatory. If there is no F5, you cannot run your business. Because who is going to load balance their traffic? That's the key things. So, coming to the point, if we have the problem, अगर ये प्रॉब्लम होती है, so the router cannot help you, your switch cannot help, so we have to use the F5 load balancer, especially that is the LTM. We have the GTM ASM, अभी बात करेंगे GTM क्या करता है, ASM क्या करता है. But we have to use some product that is known as the F5 load balancer. और वो F5 load balancer कुछ इस तरीके से काम करेगा. Let's suppose कि ये आपका F5 LTM device, this is the F5 LTM. Behind the F5 LTM, we have the server 1, we have the server 2, we have the server 3. Now we can connect this F5 LTM with the firewall or might be the router. This is going to terminate to direct to the internet, and different user. Let's suppose these are the users sitting across the internet. कोई दिल्ली में है, कोई मुंबई में है, कोई यूके में है, कोई यूएस में है, कोई दुबई में है. It could be anywhere. They all are coming and they want to access, take an example, any website that www.goinet.com. So whenever they are going to open this website from this FQDN, this is going to land the traffic from this internet. It is going to land to the F5, and this device is going to be responsible to distribute the traffic between server who have the availability. If the server is full 100%, it will not send the traffic. If server is free, then it will send the traffic. If all is going to full, then you have to add the new server, being administrator. Then your traffic is going to be there. Okay? Makes sense? The basic concept. Now we'll discuss how the load balancer is going to be work. What is the pool? What is the virtual IP? What is the node? What is SL offloading? What is the floating IP? What is the self IP? How the VLAN is created? How policy is created? How NAT is going to. A lot of things we have to discuss. But at least on the nutshell, we have to understand how the basic fundamental is going to happen. So take an example. You open Amazon, like we discussed the story from here. On the Diwali sale night, 15th August sale night, millions of users are rushing to buy the smartphone. So if traffic goes to one server of the Amazon, then what is going to happen? The server is going to be crashed. That's where load balancer come in a picture. If you're watching the cricket match and then all traffic is going to one server which is broadcasting the live cricket match for India and Pakistan, then it is going to be crashed. That's where load balancer come in a picture. So it is like if you take an example, what is that? So it is going to be like as a traffic police. You guys have seen traffic police officer at a BG red light or crossing. So what they do in red light, you have seen the traffic police is there. Every traffic is coming from different direction, and the traffic police have the responsibility hold the 3 direction traffic and pass one direction traffic. So what is going to happen? The crash is not going to happen. If the traffic police is not there, right light is not there, so all traffic is going to be collide and no one is going to be cross the red light and everyone is going to stuck there completely. So this is the how your load balancer is going to work. It's makes sense, everyone.
Yeah.
It's making sense.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And we can reinstall install a new server or dismantle a new server without interruption in our networks.
Yeah, definitely. We'll talk.
please.
We'll talk
Yeah.
how it is
Sir,
going to happen.
Mm.
But this is how your load balancer is going to work. Now,
Good example.
thank you so much, Sabir, and everyone.
sir, you will drive this class?
Sorry.
You will drive this class?
Yes, definitely. I will take this class.
I have
Okay.
already told you in the first when I'm joined today. This
Okay.
Vishal
I
sir is
will
one
only
man I
will
army.
drive this clubs. No other trainer is
One
going
man
to.
army. You know
Okay.
firewall, you know routing switchings, you know load balancer, he knows
Thanks,
security,
Sabir. Thanks.
he knows
Thanks, Sabir.
SD on. First
Thanks,
time I
Sabir.
have seen. First time I am seeing
Okay, no
these
problem.
guys. That is
It's
the
my
reason.
pleasure for your compliment. But let's understand something, bigger together, okay? And let's understand, okay? Now we have to understand a little bit about the company. So basically, what is the F5? I mentioned that you can think it's a Mercedes-Benz of the load balancer, means Mercedes-Benz, who is a car making company. Rolls-Royce is a car making company. Ferrari, the car making company. We have a lot of car in the market. We have a lot of car of the market. But if you talk about the premium car, that's going to be Mercedes-Benz, that's going to be Ferrari, that's going to be Jaguar, the BMW, like we have the Rolls-Royce. Similarly, your load balancer F5 BIG-IP is the Mercedes-Benz or Ferrari in the market. If you are going to purchase the load balancer and you are going to purchase another product, that's there the far difference between that. Just think about somebody is driving the Mercedes-Benz or BMW and you're driving the Alto car or my
Nano.
Hyundai car, lowest end car. So don't means ये मैं डिफरेंस इसलिए बता रहा हूँ कि इस लेवल का इसका मार्केट है. And now this company is founded in 1996, and that time the more focus was the application delivery and the security. So this company was founded, and basically after founding their headquarter basically in the USA, and that is a global leader for time being as a application delivery networking, that's ADN, and also provide the security core product. If I talk about that, they have the three core product. So let me back to again here. They basically work on the F5 LTM, they work on the F5 GTM, and they work on the F5 ASM. These are the core product, right? So if I briefly talk about what basically your GTM can do that, what LTM can do that, and what ASM can do that. We have the other products also, but basically you have to get these three products always in the market because you have the higher requirement. APM also, we have the product from the F5. So F5 LTM is basically known as the
Local traffic management. Vishal sir, sorry for interrupting. Here we are not covering F5 WF, correct?
no, we are not. We are these two modules we are not covering in this course. We are just targeting the F5 LTM as of now. Okay.
Okay.
So
Only
these
F5.
all load balancer.
I'm going to tell. Okay. So this is your load balancer. F5 LTM is a load balancer. So local traffic manager. This is the actual pure load balancer. Okay. This can do the load balancing based on your applications, based on your traffic, SSL offloading, persistent connections, health monitoring. A lot of feature can do that. This is the your load balancer. F5 GTM is basically, this is known as the global traffic manager. This is now known as your DNS, basically load balancing. This is basically used for the DNS. What is DNS? Anyone know? What is DNS? Load balancing?
Domain name server.
Yes. So we have the every website you are going to open, they must have the fully qualified domain name. This is known as the FQDN. So if you have the multiple FQDN coming request, somebody should be there. That request means that request must be going to in some server. Yep. DNS server we have, right? This is one DNS server. Let's suppose this DNS server have the capacity to resolve 10,000 DNS query. But now you get the 1 lakh DNS query. Then what is going to happen? Again, this is going to be crashed. So if you have the multiple DNS server and I want to do the load balancing between the DNS server, so which product is going to be used? That is the
GTM.
GTM.
F5 GTM.
Yes, not LTM. For especially for the DNS, it's a GTM. Rest traffic can be handled by the LTM. Now, the third one is the F5 ASM. ASM is known as the application security manager. What is the role of the application security manager? They use one of the module. Sometime you're going to known as the WAF. This is known as the Wave
Access firewall or
application firewall. So Sabir, आप मुझे ये बताओ, what is different between this firewall and wave application firewall? कुछ idea है? What is difference between these two firewalls?
Web action firewall just like install the before external DMJ, and it is just like a work as a proxy.
I'm not talking just basic example. Means
Or
why
proxy.
use the firewall? अगर आप interview में गए, let's take an example. And interviewer asks, can you just give me difference between the why you use the web application firewall and what is the network? Means basic functional difference.
Web access firewall is basically used for the traffic which coming from the outside.
तो वो तो हम नेटवर्क
Only for
No,
DNS, sir.
outside, and it is for the external
one by one.
external DMZ region.
Okay.
Sir, WAF is mostly here using for DNS and mostly for only for application layer 7.
Mm-hmm.
DNS and layer 7. Both functionality.
Any other?
Yeah, I don't remember right now.
Any Archana, Dharampir, John, Muthu, anything you want to say? You must know this basic difference. या कुछ guess करो if you want to say something. Pratik, Pritam, you want to say something? What is the difference between the web firewall and the this normal firewall? Admin, you want to say something? What's your name? Admin. So simple difference we have. If we talk about the web application firewall, web application firewall, what's name suggests? Web. What is a web?
Yes, sir. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, sir. I was mute.
Traffic only web.
Yes, Pritam, you want to say? Yes, thanks, Ramil.
Yeah, the normal firewall is secure only network parameter, like in our in-house parameters. And the web secure, the the name is saying web application that is hosted on network. See, what is the traffic is coming the outside? First, it will hit our web, then come hit our firewall, then come in our network. Full of web only.
Okay. चलो ठीक
And
है.
the network.
Actually, web application firewall, I have already told that protect the specific web applications or
Yes.
set up web applications. We can use consider the reverse proxy also. Yeah, I have read this.
Okay. Okay. So let me make your life easy.
Yeah.
Web application firewall. This web is basically anything you accessing from the browser. Web is anything accessing from the browser. Means any URL, any website, any applications. So if you want to apply the protection on the web application level, means website level, application level, URL level, so that's web is going to be there. So web application firewall basically going to protect the application which is going to be probably infected by any kind of threats, like you have the any attack, vulnerability attack, any kind of virus
Ransomware,
attack,
phishing.
SQL injection, cross site encrypting. So these kind of the protection is application level is going to provide to the web. But if we talk about the network firewall, it can do the protection based on your layer 2, layer 3, layer 4. Definitely application also they can do that. URL also can do that.
Layer
And
7.
the content also they can do that. But WAF is most the you have to protect your applications. Means they design to protect your applications, which is hosted in server. Not they're going to check the layer 3, layer 4, other things, but they're going to check the application. So this is the ASM product. So now I hope you understand what is the your GTM, what is the LTM, and what is the ASM. If any doubt, please let me know.
Sir, I'm audible.
Yes, Sasi, you audible now.
Sir, that firewall is also working on application layer. So that firewall is also filter the traffic for web.
Yes, definitely. They are designed to filter the traffic of the web only.
Then difference needs to be clear.
सो क्या क्लियर नहीं हो बताओ ससी, मैं क्लियर करता हूँ आपको डिफरेंस क्या है. देखो जो हमारा नेटवर्क फायरवॉल होता है, दे दे कैन वर्क देखो ओएसआई के जो लेयर होती है ना, दे कैन वर्क ऑन द लेयर 2, दे कैन वर्क ऑन द लेयर 3, लेयर 4 एंड लेयर 7 कंटेंट, दैट इज एक्चुअल पेलोड. ठीक है. दे कैन वर्क ऑन द यूआरएल, दे कैन वर्क ऑन द एप्लीकेशंस, राइट, दे कैन वर्क ऑन द यूजर आईडी. ये सारे टाइप के जो ट्रैफिक आएगा ना, कुछ एडिशनल थिंग इसमें ऐड कर लो, ये आपकी नॉर्मल फायरवॉल प्रोटेक्ट कर सकती है.
Yes.
बट इफ इट टॉक विद द वैप, ठीक है, अगर यहाँ वैप मैं लिख देता हूँ, सो वैप एक ही चीज करता है, वो करता है दैट इज द एप्लीकेशन. कि मतलब कोई भी आप एप्लीकेशन एक्सेस कर रहे हो फ्रॉम इंटरनेट, उस एप्लीकेशन के ट्रैफिक को ये सिर्फ एग्जामिन करता है, वो बाकी चीजों को नहीं करता है, बाकी सबको छोड़ देता है, जस्ट एप्लीकेशन. क्लियर? अभी क्लियर हुआ या नहीं क्लियर हुआ?
Okay.
It's
Okay.
it's working only HTTP and HTTPS.
Yes, any wave related thing, anything you just इसको इसे समझो, आगे हम और बात करेंगे इसके बारे में कि if you have the any traffic coming from the internet from the browser, that is going to work by your WAF. Clear?
Okay.
हाय विशाल सर।
लेकिन अगर अगर इंटरव्यूअर सर क्वेश्चन पूछता है कि वो फायरवॉल भी आपका एप्लीकेशन लेयर पे काम करता है तो वो भी आपका HTTP और HTTPS एप्लीकेशंस को ब्लॉक और अलाउ कर सकता है।
That's correct. आगे क्वेश्चन पूछिए. So what is your questions?
तो क्वेश्चन इज मतलब कह सकते हैं कि ये भी सिमिलर है और मतलब
नहीं
ये
नहीं,
कह
तो
सकते हैं
आपको
वो
बताना है what I told. If you talk with normal firewall can do the bigger work than your web firewall.
ओके दिस इज द डिफरेंस।
Yes, but your WAF is just going to do the smaller thing.
ओके देन दिस इज द डिफरेंस। ओके थैंक यू।
Okay. So what was the password? I forgot. So how basically this is the F5 BIG-IP, okay? And you guys see, I set up this for the just demonstration purpose point of view. So we'll do the from scratch. When we start doing lab, we will do from scratch how basically load balancing is going to happen. So just I'm demonstrating. This lab is currently, I make the demo sessions. So take an example. These are the 3 servers we have. And अभी देखना कैसे load balancing होता है. ये user है, right? By default, what I told कि कोई भी connections आए, they use the some intelligence. So थोड़ा इसके बारे में बात करते हैं. Then I'll show you the how it is going to. This is going to use the load balancing method. And these methods are too many load balancing methods. By default, they use the round robin. अभी आप लोगों को पता नहीं what is the round robin, what is the list connections. I will show each and everything because we have some virtual servers. अगर यहाँ देख रहे हो VIP, the virtual server. We have some physical server, and let me explain कि इसका मतलब क्या है. This is on the port 80 is going to be your HTTP connections. Sorry, HTTP connection. This is the telnet connection. This is the SSH connection. And I'll make 1443 also. That is going to be HTTPS connection. So we'll see everything, how it is going to happen. And all services are hosted in the all 3 servers. So if my traffic is going to come, then how this load balancer is going to take an action, how the load balancing is going to happen, that we have to understand. I will show you, but understand. So this F5 company build a product that is the F5 LTM, and these F5 LTM also GTM ASM जो अभी हमने discuss किया. This LTM is just think a very intelligent device who take the very intelligent decisions whenever traffic is coming from the out to hit this particular device. This will do load balancing across the server. Means some traffic is going to send this, this, and this. So my one server is not going to be dead. Take an example कि ये server जो है अभी, hold on. This server can handle the 100 connections. This server also can handle the 100 connection. This also can handle the 100 connections. Now this user is sending the 100 connection, and if all connection is going to be land on this, so what is going to happen? This server is going to be crashed. So this having a responsibility, it will keep sharing the traffic. If 100 is there, then it will pass this. If it is also full, then it's pass this. Or might be, it will keep the connection 30 here, 35 here, and 35 here. This is how F5 having the responsibility to just distribute the traffic. So the key responsibility of the F5 is basically load balancing the traffic. The second, it is going to be SSL offloading. आप लोग को अभी पता नहीं होगा क्या होता है SSL offloading. So I will explain, right? This is also doing the health monitoring. What is a health monitoring? आप लोग
Server health monitoring.
हेल्थ चेक कराते हो ना, वो सारी चीजें. And then also they are going to maintain the high
availability.
Yes. So if any server is going to fail, means F5 LV is going to fail, we have another LV who is going to take care of you. So we'll design how the LV is going to be work. Now, अगर मैं बात करता हूं कि how certification roadmap is going to be happen. So if you talk about certification roadmap, so basically in F5 we have the multiple certification, but the most important certification you have to do that is going to be your 201 exam. So that is the certified. Let me show you if I have somewhere where it is. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Yes. So hold on, guys. Okay, sorry. So let me open this. I will explain this all. So this is certification roadmap. So basically, this is the basic fundamental exam, but you guys have to crack this exam. 201 BIG-IP Certified Administrator. This exam cost is also very less. It's not too much like other certification. It is going to be 180 USD. So if you want to become the F5 LTM, I'll explain the course content also later on, definitely. But you have to pass this certification and then you are going to become the F5 expert for the LTM. And trust me, whatever CTC you have, you are going to multiply your CTC after doing this certification. And every CTC, trust me, if you have just done the CCNA or basic firewall fundamental knowledge and you have the F5 LTM, you can easily at the any level 15 to 25 LPA का ब्रैकेट में आप आराम से आ सकते हो. मतलब इट्स लाइक वेरी गुड ब्रैकेट. एंड अगर आप ग्लोबल मार्केट में बात करते हो, सो यू आर गोइंग टू गेट easily 100K US dollar per year. That's the minimum salary in global market. And huge demanding कहाँ पे है? कौन से ऐसे लोकेशंस हैं जहां पे F5 इंजीनियर की जरूरत होती है? So huge demand, if you talk about, that's the banking company. Banking, like bank we have the e-commerce.
commercial
Yeah,
e-commerce.
e-commerce. We have
Correct.
the quick commerce business, right? जो आजकल 10 मिनट में आता है ना सामान, उसको बोलते हैं क्विक कमर्स. जो इंस्टामार्ट हो गया, जेप्टो हो गया, ब्लिंकिट हो गया, they are the quick commerce business. We have the telecommunication business. We have the cloud providers. We have the data centers. These are actually require the F5 engineers. So you can see everywhere bank is there. Every company have the very, quick commerce business. Almost small, larger, you are going to find the quick commerce business. Telecom is there. Cloud providers, a lot of cloud providers. Every company have the data center. So you are going to get a lot of opportunity from market. So just take an example. When banks want to secure the million transactions, क्यों चाहिए उनको F5 engineer? They want to secure million of transaction which is happening on daily basis. Everyone doing the transaction. सबको पैसा पेमेंट करना है ना. So UPI आप दिन भर में कितने UPI करते हो? You just do lot of UPI in a full day. So how the UPI transaction is going to manage by? कौन मैनेज करता है? कैसे आपका ट्रांजेक्शन फेल नहीं होता है? Because it's going to hit to the bank servers and बैंक सर्वर क्या लगा रखी है? F5 लोड बैलेंसर. जैसे जाता है तो एक सर्वर मान के चलो कि इंडिया में ऑलमोस्ट 1 अरब प्लस हमारे पास 100 CR प्लस हमारे पास जनसंख्या है. सो आप सोचो कि दिन भर में कितने ट्रांजेक्शन, हर कोई 10 ट्रांजेक्शन 5 ट्रांजेक्शन करता है, हर दुकान पे चलती है. तो हाउ इट इज गोइंग टू हैपन? Every seconds we have the million of transaction. So F5 is just doing the responsibility to make sure कि server is not going to be crash. So why you should care about this and why you should learn this F5? Because you are going to be future proof skill based engineer in the market. Means you have the very unique niche in the market. Like you are going to be in very high demand. You are going to be understand the networking security applications, full stack engineer. That's kind of the level of understanding you're going to happen. So any question till here? because I spoke almost 1 hour. So I'll just demonstrate in the lab what is happening and how it is has been built and how we can learn everything. Any question anyone have? Ask me Hindi and English so I can just, answer.
What content we will cover in this section?
As per the official syllabus. I will definitely discuss.
Yes.
Okay. As per the official syllabus, so we have the course content. I will explain. Okay. This is not by me. This is the official BIG-IP TMOS administrator exam. Same thing I talk, right? So I will explain how you're going to do that. F5 certified BIG-IP administrator. This is the content I'm going to cover everything. So I will explain later on. Any other things anyone have to ask? Okay, good. So let me move to the some demonstration point of view. How actually it is happening. So you can see in front of me, I have the F5 big LTM. If I go here, you might be find the system. So you don't know what is the meaning of system. So I have to explain that every section, what is the configuration, what is the file management, what is certificate management, what is the disk management, what is software management, what is the licensing management, resource provisioning, perform, high availability, archive, services, performance, S-flow, SNMP, crypto, offloading, users, logs, and logins and support. Everything you should know about it. Very small box, but they have the very powerful features. That's the system. System is more about the platform, box, डब्बा, जिसके बारे में हमें सीखना है, क्या-क्या डब्बे के अंदर हम चीजें कर सकते हैं. Second thing, we have the network. In network, we have to put lot of like क्या बोलते हैं उसको, we have to put lot of concentration. Why? Because we have to understand lot of new thing like interfaces, route, self IP, floating IP, packet filtering, quick configuration, virtual wire, trunk, tunnels, route domain, VLANs, lot of ARP, IPsec, WCCP. So DNS resolving, rate shaping, why it is using. Now these two things I'll explain what is there, but most important thing, device management we'll discuss. Acceleration will discuss, but we have to understand the local traffic. This three section we have to focus on: network, system, and local traffic management. And I'll explain. So in local traffic manager, you are going to see network map, virtual server. You can see going to find some virtual server. We are running the HTTPS virtual server, HTTP virtual server, SSH virtual, and they all are the green. They all are the working. Exactly, they are the live. Similar to the productions, whatever we are having a production, you are going to find 100 of the virtual server or 50 of the virtual server. We have the 3 of the virtual server. Might be we can make the 9 of the virtual server. We can do because we have to create the services. If every server have the 3, every server have the 9, then that much virtual server I need to required here in my F5. And you can see the virtual server list. They have the IP address of the virtual server. If you want to see the statistics, so that means it is going to be show you how many traffic they have. So there is no traffic. We'll see how this traffic is going to be there. Then we'll discuss what is the policy. There is no policy, cipher, iRule. Everything I'll explain, but you can see the pools. We have the 3 pools. And in this pool, you are going to see the statistics. Probably we not have any traffic. And finally, we have the nodes. And these are the nodes. And these nodes, server 1, server 2, and server 3. And you can see we have the default monitor sections. We not enable, but if I want to enable the monitoring, health monitoring. So by default,
No, nodes means physical nodes, correct?
Yes, physical node.
Okay.
In this, I can monitor the health monitoring as a ICMP. Pool, you can see pool is basically you have the different pools. You go and click this pools. You're going to find the members. Pool have the member. Which is the member? That is your nodes. And what services they are running, you can find the services. You can see the load balancing method. I told na कि क्या load balancing method use करेगा. So we have the lot of load balancing methods. See, we have the round robin, we have the ratio, we have the list connection, we have the observed, we have the predictive, we have the ratio, we have the fastest, list and fastest, observe, predictive, dynamic.
List
So
session.
wait, ratio. So इन सबको हमें समझना पड़ेगा कि क्या यूज होता है, क्यों लोड बैलेंसिंग मेथड ये यूज करते हैं, इनका मतलब क्या होता है. बाय डिफॉल्ट ये राउंड रॉबिन ही करता है. So we'll understand each and everything in one by one. Clear? But if I demonstrate, let's suppose if this is my user, take an example. Hold on. This is my user, okay? This user, let's suppose I want to accessing the server. I'm going to access this virtual IP, let's suppose 100. Let me see what VIP I configured, basically. So you have the two. One is the 100, one is the 101. 101 is going to be for different services and 100 is going to be different services. So if I go here on this particular PC and let me open the new browser. I want to avoid the cache. And if I'm going and open this, let me see what services they have. Hold on, guys. So this is my 100 and 100 can be HTTP and HTTPS because we configured here. Let me check the nodes. Sorry, pool. Yeah. So this is going to be HTTP port 80. Okay, and we have the HTTPS also. Okay. So we have the HTTP and HTTPS both we have. Okay, so let me try the HTTP and HTTPS. So you'll see what is going to be happen. So I'll go here and I try here HTTP. Let's suppose HTTP, this 100 IP address I'm typing. So it is going to land to the my one of the server. It is asking the username. So this is a Cisco routers I make as servers. So I need to put username and password. So I can just go and define the username as admin, password Cisco 123. See where the request is going, server 1. Now, if I reinitiate the connection, it's going to which server?
Server 1.
Server 2.
2.
No,
And
no,
if I-
पहले part system server 1, server 2. Yes.
Server 2.
And if I
Load
replace
balancing.
again,
Server 3.
server 3.
Server 3.
Replace again,
Server 1.
server 1. If replace again, server 3. So by 2 नहीं गया server 1. फिर अगर अपने आप ही 2 पे चला गया.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing anything. Who is doing the connections? That is
Load
done by the load balancer.
Rob,
Right?
yes.
Load balancer.
Round robin. It is
और
round
यहाँ पे
robin.
अगर आप देखोगे, if you go here now and see the traffics, probably you are going to find some traffic after a while. See, we have a traffic. Makes sense? If you go in the pools also, let me go here pools and I want to see the statistics. See, HTTP you have the traffic. HTTPS we don't have any traffic. Make sense? But अभी मैं जाता हूँ यहाँ पे and I'll try to open a different websites and this time the HTTPS.
443.
One time 192.168. What is the IP? 2.101.
21.
Okay, 2.101. This time HTTPS. So अभी इसको जैसे ही hit करेंगे, let me try on the 100.
Port, sir, port.
No, port not
Port
required.
की जरूरत नहीं है.
Might be 100 IP 101 पे HTTPS enable ना हो. Let me try on 100. Let's wait. It's trying to establish the connection. Just wait. It is now it's done. So 101 IP actually live नहीं है. मेरे को याद नहीं होगा, right? So if I go and put the username here, username and Cisco 123. See, I'm in the server 3. If I refresh again,
Server 2.
I'm in this. Let me refresh. Server 2. Okay, automatic and
Server 1.
And if you go here and probably you just
That's just like a pani puri of Indian street food.
yes. And now you go here and check the statistics. See, we have the traffic here. HTTPS. Make sense?
Correct.
Clear? And I want to do the SSH. Let's suppose I am going in here and trying to do the SSH connections. That also going to happen. But SSH at a time is going to, first time you're going to log in, it is going to log in the router 1. So let me go in the putty. And I just type the 192.168.2.100 SSH. So you will see. Let me see which IP. I forgot the IP. I don't know which IP it's enabled. 2.101. SSH. Yeah, 101 is enabled SSH. So now I log in. And if I go and put the admin Cisco 123, see, it's landing on the server 1. So if I log in next time, it is going to might be log into the different router. And this is a Cisco router I'm using as a server. And I enable the let me show you. I'll explain how it is going to all enable, why I'm using this all. So I enable the actual HTTPS services, and I will let you know how the HTTPS services is going to be enabled. So if you go here, and if you run show run include HTTP, see. So we enable the both services, HTTP server, authentication local, and HTTP secure server, HTTPS also. And if you go here, line VTY, so run section line VTY, we also enable the SSH and telnet. So if I want to access the SSH and telnet, that is also going to work. So because of that, my connection is landing here, and I again refresh, right? If I go pool again, and I just go in the statics, you're going to find we have the connection as such as well. Clear? So this is how, and this level of learning we have to do, and we have to build this lab from the very scratch. Okay. Right now I'm showing, but I'll replicate this. I will do the licensing, how the licensing is going to happen, how the basic IP schema is going to be configured, why this virtual IP is going to require, what is my internal IP. You can see we configure some VLANs as well. So we have to understand what is my VLAN, what is my external VLAN, what is my internal VLAN, how this is going to be assigned to your ports. That's these two ports. Here is 1 by 1, but here we configure the gig 0 by 0 and gig 0 by 1, how it is going to map. So I will explain these all things, and lab is going to be there 100%. Everyone is going to access the lab, and the lab is going to be performed by you. Only licensing, you guys have to individually generate. 30 days license is going to be there. It's not permanent license for the F5. So we have to generate license from the individual email ID. So I will let you know how to generate the license. So I will generate, and you guys have to follow the same process, generate the license. Without license, it is not going to work. So F5 have the mandatory. When you are using the lab, you require the temporary license. So it's a free, you can download, but you have to create the credential account on the F5 portal. Okay, so now I leave open to the questions. If any question, please ask. And this class is going to happen Saturday, Sunday, 10 to 12 morning. So tomorrow we have a class. Okay. So make sure you guys complete your enrollment today. So tomorrow we'll start the licensing process and everything. So जिसने कर लिया, that's fine. Already 5-6 already done the enrollment. But जिनको पढ़ना है, they want to do that, reach out to support number, right? You can reach out to a counselor, और इस नंबर पे आप लोग पिंग कर सकते हो, या फिर आप डायरेक्ट जाके guinet.com पे यहाँ से वेबसाइट पे भी आप लॉगिन करके यहाँ से जा सकते हो, या कॉन्टेक्ट अस पे जाके चैट कर सकते हो, ईमेल लिख सकते हो. So you're going to get support, so there is no problem. Now I'll open this forum for the any open questions. किसी कोई डाउट है तो प्लीज आस्क. आपकी आवाज ब्रेक हो रही है शशि, आपकी आवाज ब्रेक हो रही है. प्लीज कम इन द गुड नेटवर्क जोन. Yes, Sasi, you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to know the duration of course.
So it's going to be within 2 months we'll finish this course. Not more than that, okay?
2 months.
Yes, within 2 months we'll finish this.
2 months.
Yes, within 2 months we are going to finish this course. Not more than that. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Anyone have anything? Open questions want to ask? Okay, so I believe if no questions, I'm good for today, and I appreciate your time and patience. So initially it's a day 1 class, so I don't want to take longer session, but tomorrow we have the class. We have to go with some basic fundamental lab creations, licensing and all. So we'll cover that. Okay.
Hello,
Sir,
I am audible.
one
One by one. Dharamveer, you asking something?
सर आपने लास्ट में बताया ना स्विचिंग फंक्शन वील क्रिएट वीलैन, तो ये क्या स्विचिंग फंक्शन भी करता है क्या सर्वर के लिए?
I will explain कैसे. इसमें ना आप डायरेक्टली इंटरफेस पे आईपी नहीं असाइन कर सकते हैं, जैसे राउटर में होता है, फाइल पे होता है। वी कैन असाइन डायरेक्ट आईपी ऑन द इंटरफेसेस, बट इन F5 यू कैन नॉट असाइन द आईपी डायरेक्टली टू इंटरफेस। आपको उसके लिए विलन बनाना पड़ता है, फिर उस विलन के थ्रू उसको आपको इंटरफेस में मैप करना होता है। सो दैट्स द प्रोसेस, इसीलिए इसमें विलन सपोर्ट करता है। सो अगर विलन सपोर्ट करा तो आप इसको स्विचिंग भूल सकते हैं, काइंड ऑफ दैट।
ओके, वो अलग अलग सर्वर के लिए बनाते हैं।
हाँ राइट, देखो यहाँ पे ये देखो मैक एड्रेस लर्न कर रहा है इसका पर्टिकुलर, और
Yes.
दिस इज द VLAN वी क्रिएटेड। एंड सेल पाइप में जाओगे तो देखो सेल पाइप में वी जस्ट हैव टू असाइन द आईपी एड्रेस। दिस इज द आईपी एड्रेस फॉर द WAN and this is the IP address for the LAN. So we assign the self IP and
Email.
we go on the interfaces, and this is the interfaces. Under this interfaces, what we have done, we go in the VLANs and we map the self IP VLANs on this. So इसका प्रोसेस थोड़ा सा अलग होता है, जो मैं कल बताऊंगा कैसे इसको करते हैं, ठीक है?
ठीक है सर, जस्ट लाइक वेब एप्लीकेशन के लिए क्रिएट VLAN, नॉट अनदर हार्डवेयर लाइक।
Right, right, right.
Sir, in this course, we will cover the traffic policy.
Yes, yes. I mentioned, right? Whatever the TMOS official course we have, that's everything is going to cover. Means how the policy is going to be. Already seen, right? There is a policy section available. So I will explain how the policy is going to be there. Why you require the policies. Yeah, Sasi, you have any specific requirement? So you can discuss. There is no problem. But you make sure next time when you join, you have the good mic. आपकी आवाज ना आधी कट रही आधी आ रही है, सो इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट सम टाइम टू अंडरस्टैंड, बट डेफिनेटली कोई क्वेश्चन होगा डेफिनेटली विल कवर। यू आर एट होम और यू आर ट्रेवलिंग ससे?
No, sir, I am at home.
सो नेटवर्क आपका इतना स्लो गया है, चेंज करो इसको, एयरटेल को लगाओ या किसी और को लगाओ।
Okay.
ठीक है, चलो गाइस, थैंक यू सो मच एवरीवन एंड सी